Hey y'all, welcome to Tasha Mind Your Money. I'm a mom on a mission to budget smart, save boldly, and show you how we're making progress one small step at a time. Let's get into this week's budget check-in. Hey ladies and hey legacy builders, it is 6 o'clock, I believe, or 6:30 in the morning on Sunday. Happy Sunday, happy new week. I am going to check in on my budget by doing some expense tracking and also making sure bills were paid and making sure I'm staying on budget for three categories: food, gas, and household. I did not budget anything for household, so I think that part should be pretty easy. And so if you'd like to take out your budget workbook or budget planner, open up your spreadsheet and track along with me, go right on ahead. Let's do this together. We can call this budgeting with a friend. And how has your summer been so far? I think, have already exhausted our summer cash. So we have been finding fun and free things to do with the children. And it's been so amazing already. Like, I didn't realize how many fun places that we could go are nice and calm and, spacious places where they can ride bikes and scooters and just run around. And it's absolutely free. So I'm really grateful for that. So we're going to track from the 6th of July through the 12th of July. And I'm going to start with the joint main account. This is the account where most of our income hits. And then we make transfers and, minor payments from this account. And so there was nothing on the 6th. So we'll start on the 7th. We paid a bill, $397. That left us with $8.24 in this account. And then we had a payroll deposit on the 9th for $634.28. We transferred money to the joint operating account on the 9th of $240. I made a cash withdrawal of $60 on the 9th. And I think 10 of that I used to buy a sweet treat for the children, and the rest I used to cash stuff. So that's in line with the budget. $15.87 came in random. Don't know what it was for, but we're grateful for every dime God sends our way. So we had a $15.87 deposit. And then there was a $736.70 deposit. And then on the 10th, the car loan payment came out of $120. The car loan payment is $115 every week, but we send an extra $5 because we're committed to making an extra principal only payment once every week after the payment post, just to try to get the balance down even further. And that I share on Transfer Tuesday every week. On the 10th, we bought gas for $20. I think I shared this when I closed out my budget. I'm trying to stick to the budget we set for the month. And one of the ways I'm trying to do that is to be diligent about keeping my receipts so I can track a little bit better. So this was the 10th, okay? We bought $20 worth of gas exactly, and we got 6.6 gallons of gas. I'm trying to keep on top of it, so might seem a little bit meticulous or boring or whatever, but I need to make sure I know exactly what we're budgeting and if it's reasonable to stick to it. Right now, gas is reasonable for me because I don't have to drive to and from an office every day, and my children's school is not far away. And the places where we normally go, we probably only drive the most on like one day a week. And so right now, this gas budget is reasonable for us. Costco, we usually go to Costco to shop, and we spend $116.99, which I was grateful for because we had to stay on budget. And we didn't have to put anything back, which was nice. We bought eggs. We bought cupcakes for the children. We bought organic oats. We bought organic maple syrup, which was closed this time. I checked to make sure nobody had dipped into it. We bought peanut butter. We bought celery. We bought walnuts. We bought green beans. We bought mushrooms. We bought ground beef. And we bought some macaroons, which are really nice. So 2 types of snacks for the children. And then we stocked up on like fresh vegetables and then The oats are good because we can make pancakes with oats sometimes, and we make oatmeal. And the syrup, because we have plenty of waffles and yeah, waffles, not pancakes. We have mostly waffles in the house, and the kids like the syrup with that. And sometimes you can use it in the oatmeal to sweeten it. And then the ground beef, so we can make meals throughout the week because we already have plenty of chicken in the freezer. And so that's what we spent $116.99 on. So on the same day, we bought pizza for the children, and that was $10.81. I don't know where that receipt went. I know I had it, but I can't find the actual receipt. So I wrote on my envelope, missing the $10.81 pizza receipt. I'll check again, but I'm pretty sure. Is this the one? No, this is from July 3rd. So I'm missing the receipt. But I do see the transaction in my, what do you call that? My online banking. So we did have the receipt at one point. Don't know what happened to it. And then we also went to Trader Joe's and we purchased $28.83 of food. Now, let me tell you about this one, because we were about to be over, but my husband wanted to buy some extra things that he had cash for. And so he used his cash. Now, this is everything that we got, and we only spent $28.83. I hope you can see, because it's, again, it's early. $7.99 we spent for an insulated bag. We wanted to get another insulated bag, so we have two now because we're going to be buying more things off and on, and the bag is really useful. We bought some Belgian waffles. We bought creamer. We bought 2 bags of frozen wild blueberries. We bought a head of cabbage. We bought avocados. My baby still loves avocados. I'm so grateful. We bought some flaxseed. We bought cheddar cheese. We bought, my camera turned off, so we had to restart. I had Havarti with dill, more cheddar cheese, yellow onion, arugula, more yogurt, wheat bread. We bought 2 cases of water from Trader Joe's because Costco had no water. Roasted garlic marinara sauce. This is basic pasta sauce for meals this week. And anchovy in olive oil. So 2 small cans of those and some smoked sardines. And that's how much we bought. Some of this was my husband specifically. And so it came up to $83.83. My husband paid $55 in cash, and I used a debit card to spend $28.83. So the total was $28.83. Okay, that's what you see here, and that kept us under budget, or I think we might have been a little bit over our initial budget, but you'll see. I think I did review my budget closeout, but I'll go over it again because I want to see exactly how much we spent, because I don't know. But for this here, we spent $116.99, plus we spent $10.81, plus we spent $28.83. All right, so we spent a total of $156.63, right? Which I'm going to write here, 156.63. That's how much we spent on food within this pay period. And our budget for the second week, right, which was the 11th, was, okay, we budgeted $150. That's how much I thought we were going to have to spend, but we had a total of $186 to spend. So from the budget standpoint, we're $6.63 over, but the actual amount of money we had left over for after we paid bills and saved and everything else was $186. So we're technically $30 under budget, right? 156.63 minus 186, $29.37. $29.37. So $29.37 extra that we didn't spend, that we could have spent on food, but we didn't, and we got all the things that we needed. Okay, so that's that. That's how we ended. And the operating account, not the operating account, the joint account has $798.46. This money is in there, but it's going to be transferred to the operating account so we can pay some other bills and do some additional savings with. And that's going to happen probably on Monday, the 14th. So now moving on to the operating account, which has Let's see, and move this over a little bit. From the 6th, right? We didn't have any transactions on the 6th, so starting on the 7th, I spent at Trader Joe's, but I used the summer cash. So if you remember, or if you don't remember, last week I deposited $100 in cash from our summer cash savings because it would have been easier for me to just use the debit card or the credit card and then pay the credit card back for whatever expenses we incur being on the road during the summer. So I bought some treats and things at Trader Joe's, and that was $22.43. That came from the summer cash, which is why I put the transaction, or I listed the transaction as summer cash. And then we have July 7th. I made a payment to debt of $15.60, and that is actually the Kohl's card that I use, my Kohl's Visa card, to pay back for summer expenses that we've already spent. We went to Walgreens, we bought ice cream, and we bought candy from Walgreens, and I spent $12.65. That's coming from the summer cash. Okay, there was a miscellaneous expense of $8.07. And then on the 8th, I forwarded money from our Christmas account because we had an oops. So I transferred in $12. And then on the 8th, I made another debt payment. This is for summer expenses that we were spending, and that comes directly from that $100. And I paid $15.60 again. And then on the 8th, fast food purchases, what was that? Oh, $11.05. We went and we got fast food from somewhere, and that came from summer cash. So that was not included in our food budget because it's money that we were using. We're spending that cash from the debit account. On the 9th, another miscellaneous expense of $10.88. And then on the 10th, we got a transfer in from the joint account of $240. On 11th, I transferred $50 to the savings account for Christmas, $125 to the savings account for vacation, and then $5 to our entertainment fund, and then also $25 to the bills account. And so the last transaction on my expense, or on my what do you call that, like my statement in my bank, is the $5 we sent to the entertainment fund, and that left our balance at $44.70. So for the operating account, we're at $44.70, and the joint account, we ended with $798.46. $798.46. Okay. Last but not least is our bills account. Checking to see what happened over there. We had nothing on the 6th. Only three things. On the 8th, our electricity bill came out for $113. I overpaid this by some change, maybe like $1 or a little less than $1, because I'm trying to be ahead of utilities as much as possible. I have not paid National Grid yet. I have not transferred the money for our life insurance yet. I'll have to do that on Monday. On the 11th, we transferred in to the account the $25 to pay the debt, the credit card debt of $25, and that left us with a balance of $67.02. So for the bills account, we have $67.02 left over, right? And that's where we are as of the 11th of July. I don't think there were any transactions on the 12th. Again, we've been going to some parks, different playgrounds that have been extremely fun for the children and nice for the baby and for me and my husband. So we didn't have to spend a dime. We just brought snacks from home and water from home. So gas was $20 this week. Household, nothing, nada, zilch. So we had nothing left over for gas. We spent the whole budget. We had $29.37 left over from our food budget, and there's obviously nothing left from household because we didn't spend that. So go back to the budget real quick and see. Just checking and making sure. We had $186 to spend for food, so that gave us the positive $29.37 left over. We had $20 for gas. We spent that, and we had nothing for household, so no need to worry with that. So we did pretty good staying on budget this week, and I think I put my receipts back inside. yeah, for food and gas, but nothing for household yet. All right, so then the last thing is to see what we're starting the week with. And we have 44.70 plus 798.46, which is obviously going to change because that money is transferring from one account to the next, but it's still there right now. 67.02. That's wrong. We don't have 7,000. It would be lovely if we had 7,000 to roll over into the new week. We have 9.10.18 as a balance forward to start the third week of the month, which is, which is nice. I don't know how much it was last week. I don't remember. I think we were, so this week we have 44.70, but last week we had 94.61. Well, then some of that was cash anyway, summer cash, so we can't, anyway, it's all good. Let me go to the calendar so I can close out this video, because my little 6-year-old likes to be stealth in the morning and try to surprise me. We did pay the car loan. We did pay the electricity bill. Spectrum is going to come out probably sometime Monday or Tuesday. Oh, and we have a dentist appointment on Tuesday. So for food, we spent $156.63, and for gas we spent $20, and household nothing. I love this for us because we're staying on budget. So I think what I was inspired to do from the Budget Mom, keeping my receipts like this, it's actually helpful. And yeah, I'm sticking to it because I'm making sure that we don't overspend. And if we do, we'll know why. And, hopefully I'll get a strategy on how to adjust going into the next week. All right, so we're starting week 3 with 9.10.18. And that's our budget. That's my budget check-in for this week. Thank you guys for being here for as long as you were. I hope you found some enjoyment or some motivation to track your expenses in this video. And as always, ladies, my name is Tasha of Mind Your Money. Continue to mind your money, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye-bye.